fiat, legislate over that. If you're saying market forces, let the market forces be at play. What I expect the House of Rep to do is to investigate the run-up to the price increase. What has led to that? How has that come to be? Where are you importing from? How much are you importing? Who are those that are importing? Those are questions they need to ask. Two, why are the refineries not working? They should be looking to get government to expedite action. We borrowed $1.5 million to renovate the Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna refineries. What have we done with those refineries at this moment? The date of production keeps shifting. Who are those that are holding this country to ransom? How can NNPC be proud to be talking about importation when we have refineries that are not functioning? How can we have refineries? Our refineries have never performed optimally, right from when it was built. We've never done optimal production. So, and we keep spending money on TAM, turnaround maintenance. Every administration, every year, we spend money on turnaround maintenance. There are staff of those organizations that are being paid salaries for doing nothing. So why don't they sell those refineries to private individuals who are going to run them and produce oil? What has happened with the Dangote refinery? These are things they should be investigating, not going fetching for what doesn't concern them. All right. So I think that it's a shame for Nigeria to be one of the major producers of crude oil in the world and then importing the byproducts of the crude oil. It doesn't ever make sense. And we are saying for agriculture, let's add value to the things that we produce so that we can stimulate our economy. When we export our raw materials, we're exporting jobs. When we export crude oil and we're not producing here, we're exporting jobs. So the House of Reps should be looking at how to get us going on the productive lane, not fixing prices, not reducing prices that is supposed to be regulated by market forces. Those are things that they shouldn't concern themselves about.
All right, definitely very, very valid concerns they raised. But let's head down to our Facebook page to take a few comments before we head out to a very second recess this morning. On the Facebook page, Parliamentarian Defrekudo says, "Good morning, Mr. Speaker. It's so funny that I live to witness this caliber of leaders who call themselves great leaders in which they are not leaders but rulers. Fuel price now, and a common man cannot afford it. They are making life more difficult for citizens, and so-called lawmakers aren't helpful. Rather, they're aggregating the situation." I guess you want to say aggravating the situation. Noye Idion says, "Good morning, parliamentarians. Local government chairmen residing in their locality is a good idea because their presence will help in security matters, and the governor should also do well by giving them their local government autonomy. And for Mmesoma, since she has pleaded for mercy over results forgery, please, those in charge should forgive her, and she should be given admission based on her real result." Of course, we'll take a pause here with our comments on our Facebook page and head out to our first recess. Don't forget, this is the People's Parliament coming to you live on Planet 101.1 FM. The motions on our discus this morning have a Akwa State Governor Pastor Umoina restates commitment to ensure local governments chairmen stay in their locality. Fuel price and controversy over palliative as Rep moves against motion to regulate price, engage stakeholders. PDP-LP blasts federal government over fuel hike, suffering of Nigerians. And of course, Mmesoma pleads for mercy over result forgery. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Very good morning, Mr. Speaker. My name is Juan Dodon, calling from Ojoga, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome.
Please, I want to say something about petrol. People are suffering, Mr. Speaker. If you see what is going on in Nigeria, there is a lot of lamentation. People are crying very basic this way, Mr. Speaker. I want our president to channel all this palliative money to renovate all these refineries in Nigeria so that we can expect in Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Parliamentarian, for joining us. Still calling on the refineries to be worked in. Parliamentarian Harry, yesterday we had a lot of parliamentarians calling for investment or revamping of our nation's refinery, and then we are getting that same line of thoughts this morning. But many have said that the question or the concerns raised by government is that government has no business doing business. So how then are we going to get our refineries functional when the government feels they don't have any business doing business?
Look, yeah, so there is the aspect of the corruption that has pervaded government, that's pervasive in government, and yeah, that affects the businesses that they run. And that's why I'm saying, why don't you, sell those refineries to people who can run those refineries so that they can run them properly? Why don't you, give the refineries out and follow through by regulation to ensure, and by regulating what they are doing to ensure that they are producing petrol and other byproducts that are needful. Because even plastics come from the processing of crude oil, all right, that the petrochemical industries, use to produce all of those things that you're talking about, plastics and cellophanes and all of those things, and even as far as medical products, right? So we need to look at that. Number two, why not give licenses for modular refineries? Why not empower those guys in the creeks, and regulate them such that they can now be able to produce. They are producing diesel, and that diesel is being sold everywhere, in the country. So why don't you empower them, regulate them? Then they pay taxes to government, and they can produce this crude rather than be seizing ships and burning ships. That doesn't make sense. Those are things that should be done. Why not allow state governments to build refineries, even modular refineries in their states, and then buy the crude oil at market price from the government? Or why not allow businesses, to be able to build modular refineries, buy the crude oil at market price, and produce, and that you will find that the price of petroleum would drop drastically, to what it should really be. When people come and say that price of fuel in Dubai, in England, and wherever else are that expensive, they don't use it for running gen, in their houses. They don't produce electricity using petrol. They don't produce electricity in their businesses using petrol. They have electricity 24/7. These are some of the things that the government should be looking at. Because the reason why there's so much misery in the land is because in homes, in businesses, they need the petrol to be able to have electricity. PHCN and whatever, the power companies, they are not doing anything. They just give you 1 hour of light. For instance, where I live, it's in the morning they give you light. So in the night you have to run the gen, And if in your office, in places where there are offices, there is no electricity in the daytime, it comes in the night. And you need the electricity in the daytime to work. You have to power your generating set, so that you're able to do work. We can't continue like this. So I think that the government, they know the right thing to do, which is to empower individual businesses to set up modular refineries. I always was doubtful of the Dangote mega refinery. That wasn't what we needed. We needed modular refineries, all right, everywhere, so that to produce the crude that we can refine the crude that we're producing in our nation, and then get the benefits thereof. There will be employment, and these people employed will pay taxes to government. So we are losing revenue by importing petrol. Why would we be proud? Why would the government be so given to importation? Why?
Well, those are concerns that we do hope that President Ahmed Bola Tinubu's administration will definitely listen to. But it's about time for us to take a short pause and head out for our second recess. We'll be bringing you the BBC The World in 2 minutes and a few commercials. Then we'll come back to the floor of the House to take more comments, calls, and comments on our Facebook page. To stay with us, parliamentarians.
Wake up into the new planet from 5 a.m.
2024 and is open to new and existing account holders. Terms and conditions apply. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
And Harry Udo, chairman in Akwa State for Civil Society Organizations and, of course, the human rights activists. We've been talking about Akwa State Governor Pastor Umoino, who has restated his commitment to ensure local government chairmen stay in their local government areas. We also all touched down on fuel price and the controversy surrounding the palliative as the reps have moved against the motion to regulate price and, of course, engage stakeholders. PDP Labour Party blasts federal government of a fuel hike and suffering of Nigerians. And, of course, Mmesoma pleads for mercy of a result forgery. We'll head back to the phone lines to take your comments and contributions. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome, parliamentarian.
Good morning, my name is Edet, and I'm calling from here. I have listened from when His Excellency Pastor Moino at the office monitored his program and his activities. And I want to say that I come to the conclusion that it's a man that has prepared for covenant. And what Akwa need to reach to give him all the support that he needs. From yesterday's statement that all government chairmen should meet in their locality, I want to point out one that being in the locality and in their local government authority will help to energize and bring to the government second information of what is happening there and what is needed to develop the environment. The governor cannot be everywhere at the same time. So what he needed is the local government chairman to be there and interacting with their subjects down in the locality will give the governor certain information and help him facilitate anything that is a problem in that locality. Secondly, the reality has done on all that. The last election, we were believing that what money cannot do, more money can do. But from the last election, we have come to see that what money cannot do, relationship can do. From the election we've had, it's only when you are in the village that you have relationship with voters and they will return you. But when you feel that they feel you, I'm telling you that so many people will go back to their local government if there will be local government election this year and will fail election. Why? Because when they have the opportunity of developing their locality, they come down to you. So the government is doing the more better to go back and be known and be accepted by their people in the local government. For the first issue, I believe that Nigeria will come of age and everybody, no matter the hardship that we are going through now, you should at least give that a chance. We believe in that better days are ahead. But our federal government should do more to make sure they give license to local refineries for a product to be refined in the country, and by that.
Okay, I think we lost connection with our parliamentarian there.
Good point. Good points he was making, and that's what will be into refining the crude. It will bring down the price. I know that we will still have to import additives that helps to produce the petrol, but you see the price would be lower rather than going to buy finished products from abroad. You ship it, the cost of shipping, the cost of dollar and everything, and that shipping is done in dollars. We don't even have shipping lines. There were times that Nigerians had shipping, the ships in this country owned by Nigerians, by Abiola, by Yaradua, by those individuals and other business persons who had shipping lines. But even the shipping business is done in foreign currency. So all of that with Naira going for $820 for a Naira, that tells you, 820 Naira for $1, that tells you a lot. Anything you import is going to be by that margin. So it's better that we are producing what we are refining, what we are producing here. It creates employment for the people. increase revenue for government as well, because taxes will be paid by those who have been employed. These are things that government should be looking at. And I think that's what one of the presidential candidates was saying, talking about production. We are not producing. We are an importing nation. How can a nation as huge as Nigeria with great potential to impact Africa be living on importation? We can't continue.
Definitely, that's the mindset of Nigerians. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome, parliamentarian.
You see, things are still going on for us to take over. When I mean for us, Akwa, Ibom, people, God's holy people. Let us get ready. We are not mean people. Some of us may make the turn ourselves to mean people. We are not mean people. We are the Israelites of God. Even though most of us don't understand, but I want to let us know. The Takada was introduced and now translated to our right in English. It's not for fun. It's not for a particular government. The time has come. Our time has come. My time has come for us to become what God said. And then what's going on in the country is preparing us to take over. Not me. We will soon understand. Some of us will not. When I say that other people don't even understand, say, what does it mean? Please, for God's sake, let us humble ourselves. This one, people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray. Turn from their evil way. Don't hate your brother. Don't hate and proclaim. Call on God, and you will see what He's going to do. God bless you. This acting in your government, and I won't say much, but very soon we will know what I've been saying. That other then take your place as God's own child. Acting in your government. Abraham, James, forever. I love you. God bless you all.
God bless you too, parliamentarian. Many thanks for joining us. And of course, heading back to our Facebook page, parliamentarian Hobo Moore Jr. says, I support the governor on this one. All local government chairmen should live in their local government area all through their tenure. If our leaders were ready to solve fuel crisis, they would have built modular refineries. They know what to do but won't because of selfish reasons. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome.
Good morning, the guest in the studio, Barrister Harris, and good morning, other parliamentarians. Thank you for having me to this plenary. I'm comrade in Mmesoma Striker. Mr. Speaker, taking a look at the motions of the order paper this morning on motion number 1, Akwa State Governor Pastor Moino restate his commitment to ensure that local government chairman stays in their local government area. Mr. Speaker, this is exactly what citizens have been calling for. Since the president stays in the country to govern and governor stays in their respective states to govern, local government chairmen should not be living in the state capital to govern their local government area and only visiting the local government occasionally. Because by living in their local government, the chairman will be able to attend properly to the needs of the local government. I also want to advise the state governor to go a step higher by granting financial autonomy to these local government areas, and so that they will be able to assist them to function properly. That will also help. On motion number 4, the last motion on Mmesoma pleading for mercy over jam result forgery, Mr. Speaker, Nigerians were disappointed by her action, including her initial denial of the forgery when jam first raised the issue. I believe this should be a lesson to other young ones that there are consequences for certain actions. Because to me, a student that scored 249, that score is good enough for admission in any university. And therefore, it was very unnecessary for her to have forced it to 352. I'm comrade in Mmesoma Striker. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Parliamentarian Striker, for joining us. Still on the Facebook page, Parliamentarian Emmanuel Takum says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. I applaud the governor for the move to ensure all local government chairmen stay in their respective local government areas, as they are the ones to channel grassroots pledges to the state. Sometime we happen to look whereabouts of our chairmen to sign forms for us, but all to no avail except you go to Uyo to meet them. Even at then, their security protocols treat you as a foreigner. NNPCL got it wrong to negotiate the price of fuel, and also the National Assembly trying to involve the price regulation of PMS is uncalled for. Senate President should please take note of these. Also, for how long will the palliative last? Why not revamp at least Port Harcourt refinery and subsequently fix Kaduna and Delta refinery to resolve the problems of in-season increase of fuel price? I regret being citizen of this country. No employment and wrong policies punishing the masses. That's from parliamentarian Emmanuel Ntaken. Well, there's no call for regret yet. We're still in Nigeria. As long as there is hope, we can definitely walk out of it. Good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning.
Welcome. Go ahead. This is not Barrister Clifford. You have parliamentarian Harry Udo, the chairman, civil society organizations in Akwa Ibom State. Thank you very much, parliamentarians, for joining us. I'm trying to understand, Mr. Harry, the last parliamentarian raised concerns about the swearing-in ceremony of the city of Ibom and local government chairman that was sworn in yesterday, alleging that this was wrong when we placed that side by side with the laws of Akwa Ibom. So I'm trying to get a hand of that law to know the provisions, so we'll probably gather. But I don't know if you're aware of any law mandating local government chairmen to be sworn in at their respective local government councils.
Well, I think perhaps also, yeah, I'm not very conversant with that, but by way of arguments, if you are asking local governments, who swears in the local government chairman, who does that? If it's done at the local government, then it should have been done at that. But you see, they just have a few months to termination, those local government areas, so I don't think we should make a lot of fuss about that. By December, the tenure expires. So it's just to fill the gap that was there, and then we can look at that again. But I think a lawyer will probably understand. I don't have a hang on that. Maybe when I get my hand on the laws, then I can make proper, punditry on that. But for now, I don't know. I just think it's not something that we should fuss about because they just have about 4 months to go. In December, they'll be winding down. All right. So what has been done is just to fill the gap that came about by the reason of the absence of the others, of the former local government chairman of those local governments.
All right, let's head back to the phone lines. Hello, good morning, parliamentarian. Welcome to the plenary.
that is testimonial. The way it's going so far is okay. So please, let us join hands, not forget about what we are, who we are, and allow God to guide us to become what He created us to become.
All right, definitely. It's about us being responsible and civil. But heading back to our Facebook page, parliamentarian David Udo says, "Good morning, Mr. Speaker and fellow parliamentarians. On the issue of fuel price hike, I so speak. The recent surge in fuel price is due to the termination of the Black Sea grain deal by Russia on Monday, 17 this month. We know that these affect global economy, and hence the U.S., being Nigeria's principal oil and gas refiner and exporter, increased revenue profits by hiking fuel price for Nigeria, and with the profits generated in turn, sponsor the Ukraine war. I want to beg our leaders to please change from buying or importing oil and gas refined by the U.S. to buying oil and gas from Russia." Oh, wow. Okay. This one is definitely heading in the wrong direction. When the generality of the world is sanctioning Russia and moving away from transacting business, you're advising Nigerian government to do so. Well, that's where we're going to take a pause on your comment this morning. Definitely taking us out of line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, good morning.
Welcome.
Mr. Harry. Okay.
Good morning, sir.
All right, you have the floor.
Thank you. I want to talk about this refinery and because of it. You say that they like to, for us to have a natural refinery was not one of those things. But I want to say that I feel for us to have one refinery is a blessing to me, because I know that it will encourage all those even private sectors, people to come in, the ones that will be able to come in and they do something, knowing fully well that that people have done something. Most of them like to come so that they can invest. And I want to also ask the people to come in and they form a group and look at how they can bring in this refinery. Because so many approvals have been made, even to so many companies to give us this refinery. But up to now, look on this, I'm not doing anything. I can understand the last administrator, we had one that they say they have collected an approval. You know, I'm part of it, but up till now, nothing has not been done. So I want to ask them to do something. In the other way, let me talk about with the saying that he will try to compel the local government leaders to go back to the local. I want to say it's not saying that I will. Please, Mr. Governor, always try to do before you say I will. If I will, they hope that you are senior. If the thing has already gone over me, that is why even me, I cannot even talk again, because this hope is too much. You have been giving up hope. But I have not seen any practical steps. Get that step, hold it now, and then stop with the hope, because this is booking up. We need bosses that.
Thank you very much, parliamentarians. I think a lot of parliamentarians would disagree with you that hope will kill us. There's no way having hope can kill a man. I mean, the last thing that man needs to stay alive is actually to maintain hope.
Without hope, you are dead.
You're dead, definitely. So we have to keep hope alive regardless of the scenario we find ourselves. But it's about time we wrap up. So let me come back to you, parliamentarian Harry. Your last comment on the respective motions.
Yeah, so just to say, probably the parliamentarian, missed the point that I made. It would seem all of Nigeria's hope was in the Dangote refinery. So I was saying, putting our hope in just one refinery for a nation like Nigeria, it's wrong, because if something were to happen to that refinery, just as it has happened now, that they are not producing, we'll all be in dire straits as we are right now. And so it's better to have smaller refineries, dotting the landscape of the country, than to have just one mega refinery that has not been able to solve the problems of Nigeria thus far, and may not be able to do so until 2025. So what do we do in the interim? And the government also has given him the license to import petrol. I mean, it's confusing. Let me just leave it at that for us to find that happening. So I suggest that on the issue of a lot of things needs to be done We need to get the 3 refineries that we have, even if they are producing at 50% capacity, it will go a long way to solve the fuel problems. The 3 refineries, Warri, Port Harcourt, and Kaduna refineries, it will go a long way to help with the fuel problem. Number 2, empower businesses to engage in modular refineries. That will go a long way to help as well. And then we encourage state governments to set up, modular refineries. There's one, in Edet, the Amakpe refinery for us. So Akwa Ibom state government may want to look at that and find out what exactly happened with that and resolve the issue. I think that demurrage on the refineries may have made it impossible for them to even get off with that. So maybe we can look at other means of getting some of that. Monies have been paid and expended, to see how we can get. If we have a refinery running in Akwa Ibom state, we'll cut ourselves off from what NNPC is doing, produce our own petrol here, sell at our own price. All right. So those are things we need to look at. And again, to say that what the governor, the sound bites, and some of the actions that the governor has taken thus far is encouraging. It's just 1 month gone. We are hoping, as he said, that the cabinet will be announced because of that the ministries aren't at optimal level. So I'm hoping that before the week is over or before the month is over, he should announce his cabinet and get them to work, and he has to hit the ground running. It's a good thing that they are going to look to review the Arise agenda. What I'm not happy about is that the former governor is the one chairing that occasion. I don't know what he brings to the table that he should be chairing. So we need to look at that Arise agenda and make it quite workable. And I think it's a good thing to even subject it to public review, which the governor is doing. I mean, all of these things just point to a man who has the right heart, and like somebody said, perhaps had been prepared for leadership. I think we should give him some benefits of doubt and see what happens as it goes forward. But for us as civil society, we'll be here to always speak truth to government. Where it turns awry, we are going to speak up as well.
All right, thank you so very much, Parliamentarian Harry Udo, the chairman of Akwa Ibom State Civil Society Organizations. Truly appreciate your insight and helping us navigate the different issues. Of course, we cannot keep quiet when issues surrounding our growth and collective development as a people, as a country is involved. We'll continue to do that. And we hope that Governor Pastor Umono and all the politicians aspiring to lead at the local government level would heed the concerns of Akwa Ibomites. The question of local government autonomy is very much critical to the advancement of local government councils themselves. We would also hope to see them living with their respective localities and, of course, making themselves more available and accessible to Akwa Ibomites and Nigerians. Well, that's the size of our package in today's edition of the People's Parliament. Many thanks to you for joining us and wishing you a lovely Thursday experience. My name is Francis Oyima Edet, Speaker of the People's Parliament. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless Akwa Ibom State. Continue to pray for our leaders and, of course, continue to do your part of being responsible. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.